Yeah, it's dark in here, man. I'm in the storage, a little less light. But brought my Harbor Freight special jack her up when it's time. Take all this shit off the front. Get the spacers, you know, I know the whole thing. The spacers and calipers. Space the calipers over because the HD doesn't sit out as wide. It's dual rotor sits in, so you have to slightly get the calipers to go in a little bit when you reinstall them. And I'm not sure if it's with our bikes, but I know the Roadstar guys say they have to go get 2-inch fine thread bolts for theirs. And you better believe I'm gonna get rid of that reflector. That's gotta go. There it is. Low and mean Reaper front fender. 21-inch Yamaha Cobra chrome front wheel. 21-inch Spoke King China made front wheel. There's the fender. Low and mean Reaper fiberglass fender. I got the box. It didn't even feel like there was anything in it. That's gonna go real nice in there. Thing sits all the way to the ground. It's gonna be a 21, so it's gonna be up closer to the fender. Wheel. There it goes. 21-inch Spoke King wheel. I showed you before. 21-inch Avon tire. If I had all this off, you'd be able to see right through there. And I'm gonna show you guys from the side how it works. Kind of like that. So actually more like this. So there's the back of the fender, there's the front, so it sweeps almost the entire wheel. Sits about that low to the wheel too, with of course the spokes underneath. You could picture a tire being in there. Front forks coming down there. Kind of like that setup. Getting a lot of black ordering these parts. Black. My bike's originally midnight blue. I don't know if I go with a black bike like everybody else in their family has, or get it painted another color, or just stay with this blue. I do like this blue. It's dark Yamaha purplish blue, they call it. I don't like the color purple, but that's what they call it, purplish blue. Purplish blue. I think that's gonna come together all right. Should have my Alex bags coming soon. Right now I have these Viking bags and they would look pretty good. Look at that. Damn, that's gonna be nice. Sit it right on there. That fender on there. Yes, sir. She's gonna be right. Got the bike up in the air on the jack stand. Front wheels in the air. I got the strikes off. Didn't know there was a hollow tube that went through there. Saved that. She's up in the air. All right. Got the axle nut halfway off and then realized that I needed get the calipers off first. So silly me. Anyway, I used my electric impact to reverse it out. Another thing I forgot, being in a hurry, I almost killed it. You have to loosen this pinch bolt first, 6mm pinch bolt. Loosen this. Go in here with a 19. If you guys can find one, 19mm hex. All right, 19mm hex fits right in there. That's what size it is, 19mm. See, tire one's already come off, wheel one's come off already. But I know I probably don't have to undo the rotors first, but I'm going to. Just seen the wheel cock sideways there. I gotta get that off, and that hideous reflector is gonna leave forever. All right, we get this. Gonna loosen these two 12mm. These two 12mm bolts there, and that should come off. And repeat on the other side, same setup, two 12mm bolts. Take that off, hang your calipers, make sure there's no pressure on that line so it don't snag or rip your brake lines. And as you guys seen when I turned that, the wheel, I don't know if you guys seen it, but that wheel's loose. Loose. I don't know what, but as soon as I take them off, I should be able to pull that and the wheel should fall right to the ground. All right. These came off kind of easy. I used a 12mm wrench. I don't know where the hell I put it. There it goes. See, old 12. That little simple, low special 12mm wrench, and just a little bit of tapping, and it came loose. At the bottom, it's a little awkward to get that closed in there because see how that's in the way, but you can maneuver it so that it'll get on there. So if you got to bite down on it, you can with the closed in, with the box in. But everything's finger by finger now. And just back that out with my finger. I got my little cable tie there to hang it up. Once I take this off, I'm gonna hang this rotor, suspend it from the bottom of that. See where it's looped around? I'm gonna suspend it right there so that it's out of my way when I take the wheel off. All right. So next step, you'll just both sides. I'm gonna be undoing these like I said last time, taking these off, which later on I have to determine whether I need longer ones of these, because I think these are 1.5 inches, and might need to be 1 inch, but might need to be longer than that. Might need to replace those and make them 1/2 inch longer for when I put the spacers in there. We'll see. I'll check it before I take that step. Gotta take his fender and everything off too. So I'll be right back. These will be hanging up, and I'll be pulling that pin and the wheel will be off. All right. Here we go. Got that side hanging. Got both calipers hung up. There. Wheels off over there in the corner. Here's the axle bolt. Axle nut, whatever you want to call it, the axle. So you can see it clear through that. That's because of that rod that goes through there and holds those strikes on. So my next move is take this fender off. 3 bolts, and probably can't see it. 3 bolts. However, I don't know if you can see that or not, but 3 bolts, both sides. Loosen them up, and it should fall right down. It should come right off. And so I'm gonna loosen 1, 2, 3, and the opposite side. Can't see them. It's too dark. 1, 2, 3. Trust me, same pattern as this side is on that side. And I had to repeat that twice because some of y'all are special. Some of y'all are special. So 3 and 3, and this whole piece should come off. It appears that those braces, what I call braces, somebody else calls them match strikes or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. But they come off with 1 screw. All right, come back. This fender on this Roadliner, i.e. Stratoliner, will be off. All right. After all that, fender's gone. Rotor's still hanging up. Bike's still on the stand. 3 bolts goes on just how you seen that fender come off. That is for a Yamaha Raider. According to popular opinion, or should I say fact, that bolts up directly to the Raider. I mean Roadliner / Stratoliner. Direct bolt on. Okay, so if you go to Low and Mean and you're looking for a fender, get a Raider fender. That's a 21-inch fender. All right. Okay. I'll be right back. All right. It's getting dark, but as you guys can see, I took the fender off. Disassembled everything. And I'm placing the new Low and Mean Raider fender on the front. You gotta see how that's gonna go. Excuse me. Call it a full wrap, but it's not a full wrap unless it goes all the way to the front. But they call it the Reaper. It does come all the way down. One issue I'm running into, and I don't know if it is an issue, and you know, fiberglass is flexible, but I'm thinking, you know, if you guys are doing this at home, what I would recommend, don't do what I do what I say. This fiberglass is flexible. It's about that much more narrow between the forks. You know, fiberglass flexes. I've already tightened it up earlier, and then I loosened it because these little boogers, these brake line holders, which have a spacer in the middle of between the fender and that, and it has a bolt running from underneath. It's the furthest one back, the 2 that are furthest back that are holding that. They're a pain in the ass to get back on and line it up and get the thread started. So I had to loosen the other 2 bolts to get that started, but I'm finger tightening them, and actually, you guys watch that with my fingers. The fiberglass is complying to the pressure. And it's not much, but you can get some nylon washers or some kind of rubber washers or something. I would recommend it, but I'm going to just go ahead and go with it like this because I'm fine with that. I don't feel like running a Home Depot. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Hopefully it doesn't crack. If it cracks, I'll tell you. You guys will hear all kinds of shit from me, probably talking about how bad this is, but no. This is good fiberglass. It's a nice thick fiberglass. Low and Mean full wrap Reaper. Good quality fiberglass. It's not metal. I'm leaving it the color they sent it to me with, the same way I left my Reckless fairing. So the front end of my bike is black and the back end is blue. Needless to say, I plan on a paint job, but I'm balling on a budget, so that'll come later on. I do shit in parts. All right, so yeah, the 3 bolts, it lines right up. It lines up. This little bracket right here that hangs the brake line kind of supports this, goes in right here. There's a little bracket, it pinches it, holds it tight so that, you know, safety shit. Probably didn't need it, but I'll put it on anyway. Probably could have just put washers in the middle of there, but once again, I don't feel like dealing with washers. No more washers than I need to. I will when I do these calipers. Yeah, I'm just going to bolt it up. So she's almost ready to go. My next move is I got to put the rotors on this wheel here. So see you guys when I get there. All right, get ready to do the rotor. These are 11.5 Harley Touring rotors. That is a 21-inch by 3.5 Harley Touring fat spoke wheel. Okay, got these off eBay. If you guys, most people get the spoke disc. This is a floating disc because my bike over there came with floating disc. I'm replacing it with a floating disc. I ain't putting one of them pretty boy spoke ones on there. I like them, but I like the way they look. But anyway, there's 2 sides to everything. This side kind of has the locks where it locks in to the other part of the rotor, but you want the flat side out, the flattest side out. You don't want those C-clips and all that shit showing. You want them to be inside. So a little bit of common sense tells you to line them up with the holes. See that? Yeah. They're here. They're gone. They're here. See them? They're gone. They're here. All right. Now, you guys can be, I'm not telling you not to put blue Loctite on there when you do go put them in. These have the lock washers with them. I guess that's a 6, it looks like a 6mm. I don't know, this is American, so it might not be a millimeter. Whatever it is, I don't know. Anyway, I got some blue Loctite I'm gonna throw on each one. Put them in there. These are hex driven with the lock washer underneath. Lock washer fits in that divot there and right on top. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm running out of daylight there and that old dull lamp there. But anyway, I'm gonna put one in at a time. No specific torque spec. I know there's a torque spec probably for everything, but I ain't going by it. I'm going to do the pattern just like I'm putting a wheel on. So I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then tighten them down as I go. Oh, by the way, when I had this tire installed, the guy put a there's beads inside this tire, so there's no weights on it. It should balance out. If you guys are wondering about the balance, I didn't have it installed, of course, with the rotors on, but I had them installed with the beads in the tire, so it has the beads in there. I'm counting on that to balance these tires, okay, in case you guys are wondering that. And you guys who want to put ugly ass weights on your wheels, go ahead and do so. I use beads. They say it balances it. I've never used them before, but I am for the first time taking people's word on this shit. But anyway, I'm gonna put these on both sides. See you when I get back. All right, got the rotors on. Blue Loctite. Was debating whether I should go get some red Loctite because of the heat, but I think blue will be fine. I've seen guys not use any at all. So both rotors are on. I cross threaded them or whatever, you know, crossbolt pattern, just like you would do to properly do a wheel lugs on a car, the proper way anyway. Top, bottom, side, so forth, so on. Now all it is according to what I do know, it's give me some axle grease up the axle here, and, line it up, slap it in, and then I'll be working on the rotors probably tomorrow. It's getting late, as you guys can see. It's getting dark. Fenders all on, and about to do my damn thing. All right, she looks nice. I wasn't sure about the floating rotor with those spokes, but it shows enough spoke. Yep. All right. Okay, I have my axle greased. I have these custom spacers that convert the Roadliner and a couple other Yamahas, I believe Raider, Stratoliner, of course, and maybe the Road King. No, damn, sorry, not Harley. The Roadstar and the couple other bikes Yamaha makes. I got those from a guy named Tom Lento on Facebook. I hope I'm allowed to put his name out there, but that's his name, Tom Lento, and I believe the last name Punch, P-U-N-C-H, T-O-M-L-E-N-T-O-P-U-N-C-H. I believe I paid about $85 for those. It was kind of expensive. Another guy had them for $65, but he was the first guy willing to ship them on with PayPal, and he's a straight up guy. He sent them right away. If you guys are looking for those custom spacers, get in touch with Tom Lento Punch on Facebook. Just PM him, and he'll get back to you. You know, state your business. You know, don't just be calling, asking no questions and shit. This is what he has, and it works. All right. All right. Get ready to put the other spacer in on the other side of there. And I'm gonna line up the wheel, stick my axle through. People, I can't video this while I'm doing it. Basic placing a wheel back on a motorcycle. These spacers are no different from side to side. They're both the same length. There's no right, there's no left. Okay, so you can put them on either side. There's no right, there's no left. I lined them up. They're exactly the same size. So just make sure that if your tire is directional, you know, your bike's coming toward you, you want the arrow coming toward you. Okay. All right. Like I said, basic front wheel install on a motorcycle. It's a 19 millimeter to get this on and off. Okay. All right, guys. Surface. So I go put the tire on, and with this low and mean fender, when the rotor comes up, it's smacking this part. See how it hangs low right there? So what I'm thinking is either I throw shims in here and bring this in so it'll clear the rotor, which is kind of scary because there's a lot of heat on those rotors, and I don't know if that would interfere with the brakes or not. Or I'm gonna take my little nifty thrifty, my problem solver right here, and grind it down and get it out of the way, because it's very little. It's probably about a ½ inch I need to take off of there. And this is fiberglass, and I do plan on painting it. As you can see, the factory fender from the bottom hole, there's probably about a ½ inch from that bottom hole right there to the bottom of it. With this one, it's about a full inch from that hole down. So the rotors are definitely in the way of that, and I'm definitely not going to get spacers for my wheel rotors, my brake rotors. That's not a good idea. That would mean that they're not flush against the surface and all that. So what I'm going to do is take my grinder and I'm going to grind down this little bit of extra stuff here, which no one probably know. I can actually sculpt it. With this, I use that to cut the hole in my fiberglass fairing. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm wondering, the only thing I'm wondering is, will it mess with the structural integrity of this fiberglass here? But I know there's 2 other bolts that's holding it. So I think what I'm going to do is, and I believe with the Raider, with the Yamaha Raider, the rotors are further out. Of course, they're further out, and they would clear that. So it wouldn't be an issue with a Raider. It's just the issue with my with me putting a Harley Davidson wheel onto a Yamaha. It's just another clearance issue that is no fault of low and mean fenders. That can definitely be modified, and that's what I'm going to do. Real quick, I'm going to take my grinder, or if you have a Dremel or whatever, you could use that, but I just find that I'm pretty good with a grinder, and I get that out of there. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to install the wheel. So you'll see that and the wheel installed when I come back, hopefully. Okay, just grinded that nasty ass fiberglass down. Probably should wear a mask when you do fiberglass, but I didn't. As you can see on the last one, it was curved in, was down about that far. I took about a ½ inch off of it, both sides, while it was installed on the, I was going to take it back off, but just kind of made it flat there. Just held the grinder flat and let it eat its way up till symmetrically it was even on both sides, and now it should have clearance for me to put my wheel on. Next step. There she goes, guys. She's in there. She's in there. Now, I'm listening for noises and I'm checking for clearance on this fender. I need to make sure that it's on straight, and looks a little closer here than it is over here. See that gap? So that's a little bit of a concern for me. A couple adjustments while the tire's on the bike for the fender. So I'm going to do some adjustments, a little bit of wiggling on this side, maybe lower this side, I don't know. I'd rather it be closer to the fender. Looks better. And I'm going to handle that, and then I'm going to get to the part of the brakes. She looks nice. Yep, so you guys can see the clearance between the fender and the rotor. It's clearing it now after I ground. See the clearance? Just a little bit of a setback, and it's lined right up with the rotor, so it should work out pretty good. She's free. I set this at 57 foot-pounds. Now, I'm not sure, but I believe I read that somewhere. Never really supposed to go tight on real tight. I set at 57 foot-pounds. Of course, I used red axle grease on my axle rod there, and she rolls freely. She's good. So next step, I'm going to align the brakes and use the spacers. Bought some bolts this morning from Home Depot. 1.25. I think it's 10-1.25. Something like that. They do everything in millimeters because it's metric, fine thread. I think they were 50 millimeter. So they're really long. And I have some 40 millimeters just in case they're too long. So I bought both. It only cost me like 13 bucks. And with the washers also. So alright, I'm going to try to put the brakes on here and put the spacers in and line the rotors up with the calipers. That's been hanging since last night. Alright, well, she's good to go. Everything's attached now. This is, if you're sitting on the bike, the right side of the bike. If you're facing the bike, it's the left side of the bike. This side took 4 washers. This side took 5 washers. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, that should be an even amount of washers, but it's not. And there's, I'll show you that there's 5 washers at the top, and there's let's see if I can get a better angle. 5 washers at the bottom of the caliper. She spins freely. You hear that noise. I don't care what motorcycle wheel I've ever spun. I always hear that damn noise. There she is. And she's done. Wheel install is done. So she's on there, guys. Gotta take that thing I hung the caliper on off there. She's on there. She's on there. Fender. It's good to go. It's still a little bit higher on this side, but I ain't tripping. Figure that out another time. Right now I have plenty of clearance. Just torqued this down to 57 foot-pounds. Then I tighten a pinch bolt, which I did not torque. I just did it about tight, right? 1 grunt worth. And from what I read somewhere one time before, it was 57 or somewhere around there. I know that you're not supposed to make them really, really tight. I'll check that after I'll put this phone down and showing you guys some stuff. I'll do a little bit of cleaning here while she's up in the air and the front shocks are fully extended. Clean her up. I was supposed to do that earlier, but I ran into too much shit. Alright, next time I guess I'll have the bike outside and have it sitting at its regular stance. This fender, of course, will be closer up here. Future project coming. Full blast all the way across. Both highway lights black LED, main light black LED, full blast. Alright, and that's on the way, and that'll be my next thing that I do for you guys. Well, she's all done, folks. She's good to go. I haven't test rode her yet, but she's on there. It's too hot, man. Look at my face. Look how I'm sweating, guys. I'm not starting that bike. I'm not riding it today. I'll do it tonight or tomorrow or something. But pretty sure that she's good to go. I tested the brakes. I spun them, pushed it back and forth. Nothing locked up. Everything's free. So that concludes my Yamaha Roadliner / Stratoliner Harley Davidson 21-inch fat spoke conversion with the LM Reaper full wrap front fender. Kind of hard to tell where that fender is with that black tire. A lot of people just get the white wall, but I like the white wall. Wasn't none available, so I'm just going with the solid black. just the blackout. But anyway, she's good to go, and you guys will see her in the future. Thanks for watching. Once again, I just do this to help people with anything that they have. I searched YouTube high and low, didn't find any in detail stuff. I do go on to the Facebook forums and everything, and I mean, there's a lot of help on there too, but you gotta ask. But if you're just sitting at home and you want instant answers, which I didn't have, and you guys watched me wing it all the way through. I obtained knowledge off of Facebook, like Roadliner, Stratoliner Appreciation, and XV 1900 owners or something like that. I'm on like 5 forums for 1900 Yamahas. Just to help you guys out, and show you guys what's available still in the market. It's not cheap. Spend a lot of money on this stuff. But like I said, I'm balling on a budget a little bit at a time. Look, the front of my bike is black, back of my bike is blue. I'm gonna ride it like this, and I'm gonna be happy. Eventually, hopefully eventually I'll get some paint. I don't know if I'm gonna go with black. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it orange. I gotta wait till I get all my parts on here. Got some Alex bags coming, Alex hard bags coming from Russia. Alex gonna get that together for me. He already assured me that everything's gonna be good. That'll probably be 3 months from now. I know it takes a long time. Okay, well, just letting you guys know what was up. And once again, thanks for watching. See you later.